the procrastinating the most today out of all the days since I started streaming. What does that mean? I'm not motivated. Okay. Today is chapter 5. Yeah. 7 verses long. Not too bad. 아타 반짜모티아야흐 가브르드 우방아짱 예나 짱 빠페나 야디야쯔찌흐남 브라짱 야떼 얌 요니 짱 까치 차는띠 다는메 까타야 깨샤바 श्री भगवान नुबाचा याह पापैरियानन्ति याम योनिम पापिनो नरका गताः येन पापेन याचचिह्नं जायते मम तच्चुरनुः ब्रह्मः कुशया रोगी स्याद् 고크나흐 시아드 구부작고 자드흐 가니아 카티 파베트 구실투이 드라야시 짜는더 라요니슈 스트리 카티 갈파파티 짱 뿌리는 도 로가바는 파베트 아기야미야 가마나트 셔는 두어 아가미야 가마나트 셔는 두어 아가미야 가마나트 셔는 두어 두시짜이마 구루따를 빠가흐 맘 사포그다 디라크다 응가흐 시아 바다는 따스투 시아 바다는 따스투 마디아파흐 아파쿠슈요 파쿠쇼고 라우리아 드 브라흐마노흐 시아는 모하 시아는 마호다라흐. Sorry, a little rough. I need motivation. That's 아다트바 미실더 마시나티 사 파베드 갈라가는 더바 파베드 갈라가는 더바는 시라드 테는나 마슈치 다트바 지트라 고실투이 브라장 야떼 구롤갈베너 바마나 다마스 바스마 구롤갈베너 바마나 다바스마리 파베는 나라흐 니는 닫고 베다샤 세트라놈 빠는 두로기 파베드 투르바무 구더상아 구슈이 파베는 무가흐 가너흐 시아드 밤끄티 페다가흐 아누셔터흐 시아드비바 하크노 자는 많은 타흐 부스다감 하레트 고브라흐마노 바다 카다드 칸 칸자흐 고브라흐마노 sorry I don't drink too much water. I mean, when I drink water. I drink juice and milk and sugary drinks. Mostly. Kutasa kushui pavenemu kahe kanahe siad pam kuti padak siad pam kuti padak kahe anoshertehe siad viban hakno siad viban hakno janamanen tahe bosutakam haret. I read that. Sorry. Gobrahmano pada ka da de kanjahe bam gushijan jan yate gado nurata ba di siad data chro siad data chrotan siad data chrotan siad data churota patiro pavet karadahe siad jaduon siad jadonen mat siad jadonen matatahe karevan togni pradan yakahe dulpagahe pali bikretan rogapan paramam sapuk hi na jan tao prajan yatan ratna na mapaharakahe gonaki sebalno haltan siad tratan. I need to look this up. Siad 11. Alright, I'm gonna read two versions of this word. Siad ta dumadraro tanahe. Siad ta dumadraro tanahe. Siad ta dumadraro tanahe. Siad tra dumadraro. Siad tra dumadraro tana. Siad tra dumadraro tanahe. 아느나 할당 바베다 쿠흐 샬라포 타니아하 라카흐 장다고 잘라 할당 시아드 비쇼 할당 자버르 슈치카 자버르 슈치카흐 샹감 파트람 시키 흐르트방 가는 탐시 추는다 가는 탐시 추는다 리슈파 가는 탐시 추 가는 탐시 추 가는 탐시 추는다 리 가는 탐시 추는다 리슈파는 가는 탐시 추 가는 탐시 추는다 리슈파는 마투 담샤흐 발람 그루트로 라바넘 짱 비비리까 담은부라 팔라 보시바디 담은부라 팔라 팔라 보시바디 담은부라 팔라 보시바디 담은부라 팔라 보시바디 할당 시아드반아로 바네 우파나 뜨르너 까이파 사이 우파나 뜨르너 까이파 하 우파나 뜨르너 까이파 하사 사할다 우파나 뜨르너 까이파 사하다 할다. Help me, not motivated, making so many mistakes. As they should be at least 90% accurate. I am pushing for 100% accuracy. 우빠나 뜨르너 까이빠 사할다 시아는 메쇼 요니슈 야실장 라우드로 빠지 비자 말게 살 타는 빌룸은 빠띠 살 타는 빌룸은 빠띠 무르가 야비야사니 야수투 창아가흐 시아드 바티카 그르헤 시아드 바티카 그르헤 요 모르또 비셔방안에나 그르셔너 살포 바베드기라우 니람 구샤바 파바흐 시아드 꼼자로 밀자네 빠네 바이시바 데바 마칼타라흐 살바 파코쇼 시장 예 드비장흐 아빠리 구쇼이타 포크타로 비아크라흐 시울닐자네 빠네 가야트림 짱 스마레디아수투 요나 삼티아 무파 사테 아는 딸 두시투어 바히흐 사투흐 사 파베드 브라흐마누어 바카흐 아야지아야자코 비프라흐 사 파베드 그라마수 까라흐 카로 바이 바후야 지트바트까 고 닐마느드라 포자나느 닐마느드라 포자나뜨 바트레 비디아마다따 자 발리발도 바베드 비자흐 구루세바 마칼타 짱 시슈여흐 시아드 고카라흐 바슈흐 구룸 후무끄르티야 두무끄르티야 비프람 늘지티야 바다따흐 아라누예 닐잘레 데셰 자야테 브라흐마라 고셔사흐 미트라슈르탐 드비제 다나마타트 바 자문부코 파베트 사타마카트카라카라흐 파트카로그니 무코 파베트 메트라 투르그기 메트라 투르그기 메트라 투르그기리 그르트라흐 메트라 투르그기리 메트라 투르그기리 메트라 투르그기리 그르트라흐 메트라 투르그기리 메트라 투르그기리 그르트라흐 메트라 투르그기리 그르트라흐. Sorry. No, I'm being distracted. Whenever I read Sanskrit, somebody doesn't like it. It's only one person doesn't like it. 미트라 투르그 길이 그르트라흐 시아두 루가흐 그라야 반짜나트 발노마시라마 파리바다트 카포토 자야테 바네 샤츠 체다카로 야스투 스네하츠 체다카 스네하츠 체다카라스투 야흐 요 드베셔 드스트리 파리디아기 자크라바 카시치람 파베트 마트르 베트르 구르드베슈이 파기니 프라트르 바이라크르트 갈페 요나우 니나셔트흐 시아디아바디오니사 하스라샤흐 시베슈롤가 리프라다 나리 니티암 칼라하카리누이 사 잘라우카 자유카 시아드 팔타람 팔트사테 자야 스바파팀 자 파리티아지야 파라품사누 발티니 바르굴리 그르하고타 시아드 드비무키 바타 살피누이 야흐 스바고트로파카티 자 스바고트라스트리 니슈에바노트 따라쿠슈어 샤르라코 푸트바 브로커샤 요니슈 자야테 다마시 가마나트 가미. I wanna check who's outside actually. The camera is lagging. I'm gonna fix the camera. Okay. 따라쿠슈어 샤르라코 자야 다마시 가마나트 다마시 가마나트 까미 파바이는 마루 비샹 짜라그 파바이는 마루 비샹 짜까흐 아프라부타 야우바나 상근가드 프라베다 자가로 아프라부타 야우바나 상근가드 프라베다 자가로 아프라부타 야우바나 상근가드 프라베다 자가로 그래 아프라부타 야우바나 상근가드 프라베다 자가로 바네 구루다라 필라 슈이 자 그르칼라소 파베는 나라흐 라지님 가트바 파베드 두실두어 미트라 파트님 자 갈다 파흐 구다고 베드바라 하흐 베드바라 하흐 시아드 브르셔흐 베드바라 하흐 시아드 브르셔흐 셔시아드 브르셔리 바티흐 셔시아드 브르셔리 바티흐 마하가미 파베디아수투 시아드 다시바 시아다시바흐 가말라면 바트흐 so rough today. 무르타시아이까 다샤함 두 분자나흐 시바 피자야테 라페데발라코 비프로 요님 꾸꾸부터 삼진약 삼진약감 꾸꾸부터 삼진약감 That's the second version. 드라비알 탐 데바타 부잠 야흐 까로티 드비자 타마흐 사바이 데발라코 나마 하비아카비에슈 갈히타흐 마하바타카자는 가잔은 코라는 나라가는 브라비아 about 23 verses left. 마하바타카자는 코라는 나라가는 브라비아 마하바타카자는 코라는 나라가는 브라비아 다루는 깔마쿠쇼예 브라자야는테 마하바타키나 나스트 비하 마하바타키나스트 비하 카로셔트러 마히슈이넘 히 브라흐마하 요니무르체 차티 브르카 쉐바나 시르가 브르카 쉐바나 시르가 브르카 쉐바나 시르가라남 수라파 야는티 요니슈 구르미키 떠바땅은 가뜨밤 구르미키 떠바땅은 가뜨밤 스발노스테이 사마부누야트 구르너구를 말랐다 뜨반 구르너구를 말랐다 뜨반짱 그라마쇼 구루따를 빠가흐 파라시아 요슈이탐 흐르뜨바 미야사 파하레노이 누에나 미야사 파하레노이 누에 니야사 파하라 누에나 짱 ブラハマスバハラのブラフマスバラのちっちゃいはじゃあやってブラフマラクショサフブラフマスバンブラのヤードプクタムブラのヤードプクタムタハティアサプタマムコラムバラートカーレのジャオリエのタハティアチャヌドラタラカムロハチュールのシマチュールロハチュールのシマチュールノエチャンピショムチャンチャラヤヌナラフブラフマスバムトリシュロケシュカフプマンジャライショティプマンジャライショティブラフマスバラブラフマスバラサプシュトブラフマスバラサプシュトにパハナにパラにチャユトタカレビシリアンテサウカタフセタボヤタデバデラビオパポゲナブラフマスバハラヌエブラフマスバハラヌエナチャグラニアグラタンヤナティブラフマノティクラメノブラフマノティクラメノチャスバマシリタンパリティアジアンペダシャンセトラパラヤノムアニエピオティヤテターナムガティアテヤマティクラマフブラフマノティクラモナーセティピプレペダビバジテジバラムタマグニムトスルジアナヒパスマニフヤテアティクラメクルテタイコシュユプクトゥバーチャナラカーネクラマートジャナマーネンタフサネンダリドラフシヤーネナターターキムトゥヤーチャカフスバタテタムパラタテタムパーヨレチチャンパスネンタラムシャシュトゥイバイショショサハスランシャシュトゥイバイショショサハスランウィシャシュトゥイバイショショサハスランウィピシュトヤムジャヤテグルミフスバヤメバジャンヨタテトバスバヤメババカイシュイガショティスバヤメババカイショティサパピナラカムヤティヤバダプータサンプラバムタテトバプルトティムプーミダナムヤトナタフパリパラヤトナラクショティハレディアストゥサイパクホシバピジャヤテピプラシアンプロトティカラヌエラクショテヌパラムパベトピプラシアンプロトティハラノヌンマイカタプロトティハラノヌンマイカトフ 시바카빌 파베트 에바마디니 지흐나니 요나야시짱 카게시바라 스바칼마 비히땅 높게 들으시아는 따뜨라 샤리리너무 에밤 도시칼마 깔땅로 포크트반 니아야야 따나무 자야는 때 빠빠샤슈에너 브로크타 스베타수 요니슈 따또 자는마 사하스레슈 브라피아 디리아크 샤리리탐 디리아크 샤리리탐 두허카니 파라바하 노드 파라바하 노드 파바디니 파라바하 노드 파바디니 라파는띠 때 바꾸슈이 두허캄 따또 포크트반 브르셔도이시 따포드 파바무 마누샴 라파테 바시짱 뜨사미푸 때 슈페 스트리 봄소스투 브라삼게나 푸뜨반 깔페 그라마다사오 깔파 디마라너는 땀짱 브라비아 도하캄 무리야트 뿌나흐 사무트 파트 딜비나 샤시짱 자야테 살바데히남 에밤 브라발티탐 자크람푸 다그람에 짜툴비테 자크람푸 다이그람에 짜툴비테 카투이 야는따람 야타 말띠야 프라마는띠 마야야 부마오 가다 찌는 나라께 깔마빠 샤사마 버르타흐 아다트다다나 찌짜 파베드 다리도 드로 파베드 다리드로 다리드라 파바 찌짜 까로띠 빠빠무 빠빠브라 파바는 나라감 빠빠브라 파바는 나라감 브라야티 보날다리드라흐 보나레바 빠비 아바시아메바 포크타비암 그르탐 깔마 슈파무 나 포크탐 구슈이야테 깔마 까르파코투이 샤타이라피 이티 시리가루드 브라누에 사로드타레 빠빠치흐나 니루바넘 나마 반짜모티아야흐. Okay. I'm gonna take a little break. Testing. Oh, it's good. Everything is working somewhat. A little closer. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Chapter 5. There we go. On account of the signs of sins, Garuda said, "Tell me, O Keshava, by what sins particular signs are produced, and to what sorts of birth such sins lead." The Blessed Lord said, "The sins on account of which the sinful returning from hell come to particular births, and the signs produced by particular sins, these hear from me. The murderer of a Brahman becomes consumptive. The killer of a cow becomes humpbacked and imbecile. The murderer of a virgin becomes leprous, all three born as outcasts. The slayer of a woman and the destroyer of embryos becomes a savage full of diseases, who commits illicit intercourse, a eunuch, who goes with his teacher's wife, diseased-skinned. The eater of flesh becomes very red, the drinker of intoxicants one with discolored teeth. The Brahman who, on account of greed, eats what should not be eaten, becomes big-bellied. He who eats sweet foods without giving to others becomes swollen-necked. Who gives impure food at a Shraddha ceremony is born a spotted leper. The man who, through pride, insults his teacher becomes an epileptic. Who despises the Vedas and the Shastras certainly becomes jaundiced. Who bears false witness becomes dumb. Who breaks the meal roll becomes one-eyed. Who interferes with marriage becomes lipless. Who steals a book is born blind. Who strikes a cow or a Brahman with his foot is born lame and deformed. Who speaks lies becomes a stammerer, and who listens to them becomes deaf. A poisoner becomes insane, an incendiary becomes bald, who sells flesh becomes unlucky, who eats flesh of other beings becomes diseased. Who steals jewels is born in a low caste, who steals gold gets diseased nails, who steals any metal becomes poverty-stricken. Who steals fruit becomes a rat, who steals grain becomes a locust, who steals water becomes a jataka bird, and who steals poison a scorpion. Who steals vegetables and leaves becomes a peacock, perfumes a muskrat, honey a gadfly, flesh a vulture, and salt an ant. Who steals beetle, fruits and flowers becomes a forest monkey. Who steals shoes, grass and cotton are born from sheep's wombs. Who lives by violence, who robs caravans on the road, and who is fond of hunting certainly becomes a goat in a butcher's house. Who dies by drinking poison becomes a black serpent on a mountain. Whose nature is unrestrained becomes an elephant in a desolate forest. Those twice born who do not make offering to the world deities and who eat all foods without consideration become tigers in a desolate forest. The Brahmin who does not recite the Gayatri, who does not meditate at twilight, who is inwardly wicked while outwardly pious, becomes a crane. The Brahmin who officiates for one unfit to perform sacrifice becomes a village hog, and by too many sacrifices he becomes an ass. By eating without grace, a crow. The twice-born who does not impart learning to the deserving becomes a bull. The pupil who does not serve his teacher becomes an animal, an ass or a cow. Who threatens and spits at his teacher or browbeats a Brahman is born as a Brahmin fiend in a waterless wilderness. Who does not give to a twice-born according to his promise becomes a jackal. Who is not hospitable to the good becomes a howling fireface. Who deceives a friend becomes a mountain vulture. Who cheats in selling an owl. Who speaks ill of outcast and order is born a pigeon in a wood. Who destroys hopes and who destroys affection, who through dislike abandons his wife, becomes a bloody goose for a long time. Who hates mother, father, and teacher, who quarrels with sister and brother, is destroyed when an embryo in the womb, even for 1,000 births. The woman who abuses her mother-in-law and father-in-law and causes constant quarrels becomes a leech, and she who scolds her husband becomes a louse. Who abandoning her own husband runs after another man becomes a flying fox, a house lizard, or a kind of female serpent. He who cuts off his lineage by embracing a woman of his own family, having become a hyena and a porcupine, is born from the womb of a bear. The lustful man who goes with a female ascetic becomes a desert fiend. Who consorts with an immature girl becomes a huge snake in a wood. Who covets his teacher's wife becomes a chameleon. Who goes with the king's wife becomes corrupt, and with his friend's wife a donkey. Who commits unnatural vice becomes a village pig. Who consorts with a Shudra woman becomes a bull. Who is passionate becomes a lustful horse. Who feeds upon the 11th day offerings to the dead is born a dog. The Devalaka is born from the womb of a hen. The wretch among twice born who worships the deities for the sake of wealth is called the Devalaka and is unfit to offer oblations to the deities and forefathers. Those who are very sinful, having passed through dreadful hells produced by their great sins, are born here upon the exhaustion of their karma. The murderer of a Brahman goes into the womb of an ass, a camel, and a she-buffalo. A drinker of intoxicants enters the wombs of a wolf, a dog, and a jackal. The stealer of gold attains the condition of a worm, an insect, and a bird. Who goes with his teacher's wife goes to the condition of grass, bushes, and plants. Who steals another's wife, who misappropriates deposits, who robs a Brahmin, is born as a Brahmin fiend. The Brahmin's possessions acquired by deception, enjoyed even in friendship, afflict a family even for 7 generations, and by forcible robbery even as long as the moon and stars exist. A man may digest even iron filings, powdered stone, and poison, but where is the person in the 3 worlds who can digest the Brahmin's wealth? Chariots and troops supported by the wealth of a Brahmin crumble away in battle like artificial river banks of sand. By appropriating temple property, by taking a Brahmin's possessions, and by neglecting Brahmins, families become broken up. He is called a neglector who, instead of making a gift to one who is well read in the Vedas and Shastras and has resorted to him, gives it to some other. But it is no neglect if the Brahmin is without Veda knowledge. It will be like offering to ashes instead of to the blazing fire nearby. Having neglected Ottarkushya and having experienced the results in the successive hells, is born blind and in poverty, becoming not a giver but a beggar. Who takes away a plot of land which was given by himself to another, is born for 60,000 years as a worm in excrement. The sinner who takes back by force what has been given by himself goes into hell until the coming of the deluge. Having given the means of subsistence and a piece of land, he should then protect it firmly. Who does not protect but robs is born as a lame dog. Who gives the means of support to Brahmins obtains fruit equal to that of a lac of cows. Who robs Brahmins of their means of support becomes an ape, a dog, and a donkey. These and other signs and birds, O Lord of birds, are seen to be the karma of the embodied, made by themselves in this world. Thus the makers of bad karma, having experienced the tortures of hell, are born with the residues of their sins in these stated forms. Then obtaining for thousands of lives the bodies of animals, they suffer from carrying burdens and other miseries. Having experienced as a bird the misery of cold, rain, and heat, he afterwards reaches the human state, when the good and evil are balanced. Man and woman having come together, he becomes an embryo in due course. Having suffered the miseries from conception onwards to death, he again dies. Birth and death are the lot of all embodied beings. Thus turns the wheel in the 4 kingdoms of beings. As the wheel of time turns, so mortals revolve by my magic. They revolve at one time of earth, at another in hell, held fast by the noose of karma. He who does not make gifts becomes poverty-stricken, and through poverty he commits sin. By the force of sin he goes to hell, and is again born in poverty, and again becomes sinful. Karma which has been made, whether good or evil, must inevitably be suffered. Karma not suffered does not fade away even in tens of millions of ages. I'm going to take a little break. Okay. (148) 넘었을 때 마티 디아딤 비슈두어 마따리시바 호따람 비시바 부숨 비시바 데비야무 니얌 나툴마누 슈여수 비쿠슈 스발노 지트람 바푸슈에 비파바무 다다나미는 나 다다바는 따 다다파는 따 많은 마그닐 바루 탐 마마 다시야 짜까느 주셔는 땅 베시바니아시아 깔모파스 뚜팀 파라마노시아 까로흐 니띠에 찌는누 얌 사단에 자그르 프레 브라샤스티 필다티레 야지니 야사흐 브라수 나야는 땅 그르파야는 땅 위실드 바시바소 나 라티오 라라하너흐 부루누이 다스모 니 리너티 자는 파이라드로 잠은 파이라드로 짜떼 바나 미파바 다시야 파또 아누 파티 쇼치라스 툴나 샤리야 마사나 마누 디우느 나 얌 리파보 나 리셔누여보 깔페 사는 땀 레셔야는 띠 아는 타 아빠시야 나 다파는 나 피키야 니띠야사 임 브라땅로 아라쿠셔느 남았을 때 Ma Tarishivam, piercing formed by friction, herald of all the gods, and buried the figure, is he whom they have set middle human houses, gay-hued as light and shining forth for beauty. They shall not harm the man who brings thee praises. Such as I am, Agni my help approves me. All acts of mine shall they accept with pleasure, laudation from the singer who presents it. Him in his constant seat, men skilled in worship have taken, and with praises have established. As harnessed to a chariot, fleet-foot horses, at his command let bearers lead him forward. Wondrous full many a thing he chews and crunches. He shines amid the wood with spreading brightness. Upon his glowing flames the wind blows daily, driving them like the keen shaft of an archer. Him whom while yet in embryo the hostile, both skilled and fain to harm, may never injure. Men blind and sightless, through his splendor hurt not, his never-failing lovers have preserved him. Gonna take a break. Okay. So now Yoga Sutras, starting from verse 19 of book 4, the last book. There are 34 sutras. I'm halfway done. Namaste. Syada Changanka Jitatameva Sva Pasam Vishaya Pasam Ja. Number 2. Oh, there's 2 different versions. Vaishe Shui Kanam Jitatat Mabadinam Ja. Okay, so that's second version. Third version is Vaina Shikanam Jitatat Mabadinam. Okay. Bhavishyati Diagnivat. Number 3. Shyotya Bhavishyati Agnivat Na Tatusva Pasam Durushyatvat. Yatatara Nui Nandriya Nui Shabda Dayashja Durushyatvanana Siva Pasani Tata Manopi Pratyatavyam Na Jagani Ratra Durushyatvanantah Na Yagni Ratmasvarupa Ma Prakasham Yagniratma Svarupama Yagniratma Svarupama Praka Yagniratma Svarupa Ma Prakasha Yagni Yeah, I'm really not motivated. Yagniratma Svarupama Prakasham Yagniratma Svarupama Prakasham Yagniratma Svarupama Prakasham. Just 1 second. Okay, sorry. Just open the window. Na Yagniratma Svarupama Prakasham Yagniratma Svarupama Prakasham Prakashayati Prakashayam Prakashya Samyoge Prakashya Samyoge Prakashya Samyoge Durashitaha Na Cha Svarupama Trasati Samyogaha Kim Cha Svapasam Jittamidyagrahya Meva Kasya Chiditi Shabadal Tahu Dadiatan Sivatama Paratishitamaga Sivatama Paratishitamaga Sham. Number 1. Shamitya Paratishit Mevetya Mevetya Dialtahu Mevetya Tahu. Okay, combines 2 words. Sivan Sivatama Paratishitama Sivatama Paratishitama Ga Shamitya Sivatama Paratishitama Ga Shamitya Parati Shita Mevetya Tahu Sivatama Paratishitama Ga Shamitya Parati Shita Mevetya Tahu. I hate it when words are broken up. Sivatama Paratishitama Ga Shamitya Paratishita Mevetya Tahu. Na Paraparatishita Mitya Tahu. Paraparatishita Mitya Tahu. Siva Buddhati Prajana Parati Sambedanat Satatavanam Paravarata Tildoroshiate Guru de Toham Pito Hamamutra Me Rago Mutra Me Grota Iti Etat Siva Buddha Grahanue Etat Siva Buddha Grahanue Na Yukutamiti. Should the doubt arise whether the mind stuff like fire illumines itself and at the same time illumines objects? It does not illumine itself, since it is an object for sight. Just as the organs of sense and the sounds and other perceptible do not illumine themselves, since they are objects for sight, so the central organ is also to be represented. And accordingly, fire as an example could not apply to it, for fire does not throw light upon its own self, without light. And here light is thrown when there is a relation of the light giver with something to be lighted. Furthermore, such a relation does not occur with the thing itself. Besides, the meaning of the words the mind stuff illumines itself is that it is not an object for knowledge for anyone. Just as the words air is grounded in itself mean that it is not grounded in something else. For the reason that creatures are conscious by reflection of the processes of their own thinking substances, when they say, I am angry, I am afraid, I feel a passion for that person, I am angry with that person, there is purposive action. This is impossible unless there be a knowledge of one's own thinking substance. Ekasamaye Jopayana Bataranam Na Jaikasemenan Kushueno Jaikasemenan Kushonue Sivapararu Bataranam Yugatam Kushonui Kaba Kushonui Ka Kushonui Kaba Dino Yadapavanam Saiva Kriya Tadeva Ja Karakamitia Piu Pagama Karakamitia Piu Pagama He. And there cannot be a cognition of both at the same time. And it is impossible in a single moment to cognize one's own form and another's as well. It is a supposition of the momentarists that whatever exists is both action and the means related to an action. 시안 마티흐 스바라사니 스바라사니 루드탐 지트탐 지트타는 따레노 지트타는 따레노 그루 사마나는 따레노 그루 히아타 이티 지트타는 따라드로시에 부드티 부드티 부드테라티 부드티 부드테라 부드티 부드테라티 프라상은가흐 부드티 부드테라티 프라상은가흐 스무르티 삼가라 스무르티 삼가라 시장 아타 지트담 짜츠 짜츠 지트타는 따레노 짜츠 지트타는 따레노 그르히에따 그르히에따 부드티 부드티 부드티흐 깨나 그르히아테 사피아니아팅 사피아니아야 사피아니아야티야 사피아예 사피아니아야티야티 사피아니아야 사피아니아 사피아니아야티야티 프라상은가흐 스무르티 삼가라시짱 야 스무르티 삼가라시짱 야바는 또 부드티 부드티나 부드티 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 부드티나 마누파바 스타 바티야흐 스무르타야흐 브라부누바는티 브라부누바는티 따트 삼가라 쯔짜이까 스무르티야바 나바타라놈 따트 삼가라 쯔 따트 삼가라 쯔짜이까 스무르티야 나바타라놈 스무르티야 나바타 따트 삼가라 쯔짜이까 따트 삼가라 쯔짜이까 스무르티야 나바타 따트 삼가라 쯔짜이까 스무르티야 나바타라놈 자 시야 시야 디티에밤 부드티 브라티 삼베 부드티 브라티 삼베디남 부드티 브라티 삼베디남 부르셔마빨라 바드필 바이나 시카이 부르셔마빨 부르셔마빨라 바드필 부르셔마빨라 부르셔마빨라 바드필 나이 바이나 부르셔마빨라 부르셔마빨라 바드필 나이 바이 바이 부르셔마빨라 부르셔마빨라 바드필 바이 부르셔마빨라 바드필 바이나 부르셔마빨라 바드필 바이나 시카이흐 살바메바 구리 그르타무 때두 포크트르스바루 밤 야뜨라 그바짜나 까르바야는 또나 냐야나 삼가츠 차는 때 깨치뜨뚜 Number 2 깨치뜨 사뜨뜨 바마 드라마피 깨치뜨 사뜨뜨 바마 드라마피 파리카르 비앙 스티 사뜨뜨보 야 에따는 반짱 스카는 타는 니쿠슈이 비앙은 스카는 타는 니쿠슈이 비앙니암 스카는 타는 니쿠슈이 비앙니암 시자 프라티삼다타 디디우크 프라티삼다타 디디우크트바 프라티삼다타 디 sorry Pratisam that it's always something. We're right here. I'm gonna take a Prati samdatati tiukutva. Prati samdatati Prati samdatati tiukutva. I want my medicine. That's what I want. Prati samdatati tiukutva. Prati samdatati tiukutva. Tata. One more. Tiukutva. Tiuk. Prati samdatati tiukutva. Tata. Eva. Punasatra syananti. Tata. Sukanantanam. Mahananil Vedaya. I want to double check if they're connected or not. 21. Syanantanam. Sukanantanam. Okay. They're not connected. Mahananilvedaya. Mahananilvedaya. Mahanilvedaya. Cool. Piragaya Nutpadaya Prashanantaye Gurora는 tikke Brahmacharyam Charishuyami Tiukutva Satatavasya Punah Satatvameva Pahanuvate Satatvameva Pahanuvate Samkhya Yoga Dayasutu Pravadah Sivashabdana Purushomeva Sivaminam Chittatasya Pokutara Mupayananti Satatvameva Pahunuvate Samkhya Yoga Dayasutu Pravadah Sivashabdana Purushomeva Sivaminam Chittatasya Pokutara Mupayananti If there be the opinion that a mind stuff naturally restricted is known by another mind stuff immediately contiguous to it, if, with the object for sight for another, there will be an infinite regress from one thinking substance to another thinking substance, as well as confusion of memory. If one mind stuff were perceived by another mind stuff, by whom would the thinking substance of the thinking substance be perceived? Because this will be perceived by still another, and that by yet one more, there will be an infinite regress, and there will be a confusion of memory, as many memories would obtain as there will be on the part of the thinking substance, part of the thinking substances, experiences. And as a result of the confusion of these, there will be no limit to the memory of one. Thus everything is put into disorder by the destructionists prattling away of the self, who is conscious by reflecting the thinking substance. But those who assume that the experiencer as such, anywhere soever, do not conform to the rules. There are some who assume an existence as such, and that it is this existence which casts off those 5 divisions of existence of theirs and puts others together again. But these are afraid of this very. Thus in the very act of saying that I may feel the passionlessness of the great disgust for the divisions of existence, and that they may arise no more and altogether cease, I will lead the student's life in the presence of my spiritual guide. They deny after all the existence of the existence, but the systems with the Samkhya and Yoga at their head denoted by the word self, the owner, the experiencer of the mind stuff. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break. Gonna do maybe 3 more sutras. Maybe 2 more. Or maybe 2 or 3 more. Okay, taking a break. Okay. Katam Chitera Prati Samkramaya Sudada Kara Patatao Svabuddhati Sambedanama Svabuddhati Sambedanama Aparinamini Hi Pokuturu Shakutira Prati Samkrama Ja Parinamiti Alte Parinamini Alte Parinamini Alte Parinamini Alte Prati Samkranan Deva Dadu Buddhati Manupatati Tasya Shechan Prabhudachaita Nyo Pagrahas Prabhudachaita Nyo Pagrahas Varupaya Prabhudachaita Nyo Pagrahas Varupaya Buddhati Buddhatera Nukari Buddhati Buddhatera Nuka Buddhati Buddhatera Nukari Matrataya Number 1 Karama. I want to say it again. Buddhati Buddhatera Nukari Matrataya. The second version is Karama Kara. Okay. Buddhati Buddhatera Nukara Matrataya Buddhati Buddhatya Vishesh Buddhati Buddhatya Visheshata Hi Jnana Buddhati Ra Jnana Buddhati Jnana Buddhatira Khyayate. Sorry about this. Sorry, my Jnana Buddhatira Khyayate Tata Jogatama Na Padalam Na Cha Vibaram Girinam Naivanan Takaram Kukushoyo Nodatinam Kuha Yasyam Nihitam Brahma Shashavatam Buddhati Buddhati Mabi Buddhati Buddhati Mabi Shishirtam Buddhati Buddhati Mabi Shishirtam Kavayo Vedayanante Iti. Okay. Yep. How? The intellect, which unites not, is conscious of its own thinking substance when takes the form of that. For the energy of the experiencer, which is immutable and which unites not with objects, seeming to unite with something mutable, takes the form of the fluctuations which that undergoes, and being identified with the fluctuation of the thinking substance, insofar as it is nothing but an imitation of a fluctuation of the thinking substance that has come under the influence of the intelligence, it is termed the fluctuation of the thinking substance. And in this sense it has been said, the hiding place in which the everlasting Brahman lies concealed is not an underworld, nor mountain chasm, nor the darkness, nor caverns of the sea, but is the working of the mind, but not distinguished. So the sages tell. Alright, just maybe one more. 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 5 sutras and commentaries. Atashe Chaitada Pyupagamiate. Is it one word or 2 words? One word. Atashe Chaitada Pyupagamiate. Drashaturu Drishio Drashaturu Drishio Drashaturu Drishio Parakatam Chitatam Salbai Tama. Mano hi Mananta Vienna Teno Parakatam Tatasavayam. Number 1. Tataha Sivayam Cha Vishayatava de Vishayino Purushweno Temiyaya Purushweno Temiyaya. I need to double check. That's a no, it looks about right. Why am I checking it? Buddhatya Pisambantam Sambadatam Buddhatya Pisambantam Buddhatya Pisambadatam Tadetachitatameva Drashaturu Durishio Parakatam Durashaturu Durishio Parakatam Vishaya Vishayini Nilpa Vishaya Vishayini Pa Vishaya Vishayini Pa Vishaya Vishayini Pa Sam Nil Vishaya Vishayini Pa Sam Jatana Savarupa Pananam Vishayat Makamapya Vishayat Makamipa Chatanam. Almost. Vishayat makamapya vishayat makamiba jatanamiba sapatvi jatanamiba sapatvi kanui kamanui sapatvi kamanui kalipam saibai tamik diujiate tadanenaจิตตาสารูpieno pranantah kachitadeva jatanamidya huhu appare cittamatramevedam cittamatramevedam saivam nasati karivayam gavadilkatu dishucham sakarano loka iti anukampani tasmat asati hi deshvam pranantibijam saivarupakara nilphasam cittatamiti samadhi prajñayam prajña yoltah. I'm gonna say this word again here, starting from here. Saivarupakara nilpa nil Saivarupakara nilphasam cittatamiti samadhi prajñayam prajña yoltah. Pratibimambi pu tasatasya lamambani pu tatva danyaho pratibimambi pu tasatasya lamambani pu tatva danyaho. 1 second. jadal tasacit tamatram siat katham prajñayaiva prajña rupamavata tharyata prajña rupamavataryata tasmat pratibimambi putoltah tasmat pratibimambi putoltah tasmat pratibimambi putoltah prajñayam yanavataryate sa purusha iti evam grahitra grahano grahya svarupa citta pheda katra yama pietajatitaha push. Yeah, this is the last sutra. Grahitra grahano grahya svarupa citta pheda katra yama putra yama pheda katra yama petya pieta yama pieta jatitaha da katra yama pieta da katra yama pieta jatitaha. Okay. Grahitra grahano grahya grahitra grahano grahya svarupa citta pheda katra yama pieta jatitaha. Grahitra grahano grahya svarupa citta Grahi Turugurahana Grahiasavaru Bachitita Peda Kutara Yamapieta Jatitahu Grahi Turugurahana Grahiasavaru Bachitita Peda Kutara Yamapieta Jatitahu. One more. Grahi Turugurahana Grahiasavaru Bachitita Peda Kutara Yamapieta Jatitahu. Yama is the god of death. I hope Yama likes me. Grahi Turugurahana Grahiasavaru Bachitita Peda Kutara Yamapieta Jatitahu. Brabi Pajanante te Samyagu Dashina Sutaira Tikatahu. Samyagu Dashina Sutaira Tikatahu Purushohu. Number 1. Wait, not number 1. It says number 1. Purusha iti. Okay, cool. And for this reason, we reach this result. Mind stuff affected by the seer and by the object for sight. All intended objects. For the central organ is affected by the object for meditation and is itself on account of its objectivity connected by one of its own fluctuations with the subject, with the self also. Thus the same mind stuff is affected by the seer and by the object for sight, and is seemingly both object and subject, assuming a form both intelligent and unintelligent, appearing as that which is not object, while unintelligent it appears to be intelligent. Like a crystal, it is described as all intended objects. Accordingly, there are some, deceived by this resemblance to mind stuff, who say that itself is intelligent. There are others who say that this whole universe is nothing more than mind stuff, and that this world of things, cows and water jars and other things, together with their causes, does not exist. They are to be pitied. Why so? Because their mind stuff, shining forth in all kinds of forms, is the source of error. Consequently, in concentrated insight, the object for the insight, when once reflected, is other than, because this is that upon which rests. If this object were the mind stuff and nothing more than that, how could the insight by itself ascertain its form as being insight? Accordingly, when in the insight an object is reflected, it is the self who determines. Thus, by dividing mind stuff as such into knower and process of knowing, an object for knowledge, they classify it according to its kinds, as a triad also. These are men of complete insight. By them the self has been reached. Okay, I'm gonna take a little break and then do 파가바드기 down. Okay. Alright, so I did up to 23 today. And now is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. Okay, here we go. Atha, namaste. Atha chaturthotyāyaha jñāna karma samnyāsa yogaha Shri Bhagavanuvāca Imam Vivasvate Yogam Prokutavanahamavyayam Vivasvana manave Braha Manuriku Shubha Kave Borab Manuriku Shubha Kave Borab Manuriku Shubha Kave Boravit Manuriku Shubha Kave Boravit Manuriku Shubha Kave Boravit Evam Paramam Paraputamimam Rajashoyo Viduhu Sa Kaleneha Mahata Yogo Nashitahu Paranantapa Sa Evayam Maya Dediya Yogahu Prokutahu Puratanahu Pokutosi Me Sakha Jati Harasyam Hieta Dutamam Arjuna Uvacha Aparam Pavato Janama Param Janama Vivasvatahu Katame Tad Vijaniyam Tivamadao Prokutavaniti Shri Bhagavanuvāca Bahuni Me Vyatitani Janamani Tava Jajuna Danyaham Veda Saivanui Ha Na Tivam Vatita Paranantapa Ajopi Sananavyayatma Bhutanami Shivaropi Sana Prakritim Sivamatishthaya Samampavamiyatmamayaya Yada hi Taimasya Glanipavati Parata Apyutata Namataimasya Dadadamanam Surjamyaham Paritranoya Satunam Vinashaya Cha Dushukratam Taima Samsatapanaltaya Samampavami Yuge Janama Kalma Cha Me Divyamevam Yo Patati Tatatavatahu Dyakadeva Deham Punarjanama Naiti Mameti Soljuna Vitaragapaya Krota Manamaya Mamupashiritahu Bahavo Jnana Tapasa Uta Madhupavamagatahu Ye Yatha Mam Prapadyanante Tam Satataiva Pajamyaham Mama Baltamanu Baltanante Manushuyahu Balta Saivashahu Gangan Kushanantahu Kaimanum Siddhatim Yajananta Iha Devatahu Goshui Param Hi Manushue Loke Loke Siddhi Bhavati Kaimajam Tulbalnuyam Maya Surashatam Gunokaima Vipagashah Kasya Kaltaramapi Mam Vidutya Kaltaramabhyayam Vidutya Kaltaramabhyayam Na Mam Kaimanui Limumpanati Na Me Kaimapale Sapuraha Iti Mam Yopijanati Kaimapilna Sa Bhatyate Evam Jinyateva Kuratam Kaima Bulvairapi Mumukushopiha Guru Kaimaiva Tasamatevam Bulvaiha Bulvataram Kuratam Kim Kaima Kaimeti Kavayopiatra Yohita Mohita Tatate Kaima Pravakushuyami Yajijinya Tevan Mokushya Sashupat Kaimano Hyapi Bodhitavyam Jan Pikaimanoh Akaimano Shijan Bodhitavyam Katana Kahana Kaimano Katiho Kaimanuyo Kaima Yahu Pashieda Kaimanui Jan Kaima Yahu Sa Buddhitimana Manushu Yeshu Sa Yukutahu Kurutu Sunakaima Kurutu Nyasyan Saive Samaramanpa Kama Sangan Kalpa Sa Kama Sangan Kalpa Vajita No Vajit Kama Sangan Kalpa Vajit Kama Sangan Kalpa Vajita Jinyana Ganidagata Kaimanam Tamahu Panunduitam Buddha Diakutava Kaimapala Sangangam Nityateraputo Nirashirayah Kaimanuya Pi Prabhuratopi Naiva Kinchita Karoti Saha Nirashiriya Tachichatama Nirashiriya Tachitata Nirashiriya Tachitata Nirashiriya Tachitata Tama Diakuta Saiva Parigraha Shariram Kevalam Kaima Gulvanana Punoti Kirubisham 야들으쯔차라 파사는 또셔또 야들으쯔차라 파사는 또셔또 드바는 드바디 또 비마트 사라흐 사마흐 시드타 바시드타오 짱 그르트바 비나 니바티아테 가타상은가시양 무쿠타시양 지냐나 바스티타 짜타사흐 Yajinya ya charatahu kaima samagram prabiliyate Brahma ipanam Brahma habil Brahma gnau Brahmano hutam Brahmaiva tena Kanantavyam Brahma Kaima Samathina Daivameva 다이바 메바 메바 다이바 메바 빠레 야지냠 요기나흐 빠리유바 사테 브라흐마 그나 바빠레 야지냠 야지nye 나이보빠 야지nye 나이보 야지nye 나이보빠 주후바티 야지nye 나이보빠 주후바티 슈로트라 디니는드리야 누연이에 사미야마 그니슈 주후바티 사미야마 그니슈 주후바티 샤브다디는 스바 샤브다디는 비셔야는 나니 샤브다디는 비셔야나니야 이는드리야 그니슈 주후바티 주후바티 살바누이는들이 약갈만 살바누이는들이 약갈만누이 브라너갈만누이 짜빠레 아트마사미야마 요가 그나우 주후바티 지냐나디 비테 드라비아 야지냐 스타포 야지냐 요가 야지냐 스타타 빠레 요가 야지냐 스타타 요가 야지냐 스타 요가 야지냐 스타타 빠레 스바티야 야지냐 나 야지냐 시짱 야따야흐 삼치타바라따흐 아빠네 주후바티 브라남 브라누에빠남 브라누에빠남 타타빠레 브라노빠나카티 루드트바 브라노야마빠라야노흐 아빠레 니아타하라흐 브라노는 브라노에슈 주후바티 살베피에테 야지냐비도 야지냐쿠쇼 야지냐쿠쇼 피타카르마쇼흐 야지냐시시트 무르타푸조 야는티 브라흐마 사나타나무 나얌 노코스티아 야지냐시야 구토니아흐 구루사트타마 에밤 바후비타 야지냐 비타타 브라흐마노 무케 갈마자는 비드티 따는 살바네밤 지냐트바 비모쿠시어세 비모쿠슈여세 시레야는 드라비야마야 디아지냐 지지냐 나야지냐 시레야는 드라비야마야 디아지냐 지지냐 나야지냐흐 시레야는 드라비야마야 디아지냐 지지냐 나야지냐흐 빠라는 따빠 살밤 깔마 킬람 빠알타 지냐네 파리사마 피아테 다드비드티 브라노이바 테나 파리프라시네나 세바얌 아빠데쿠시오는 티테 지냐니 나스타트 드바 지냐니 나스타트 드바 다시나흐 지냐니 나스타트 드바 지냐니 나스타트 드바 다시나흐 진년이 나스타트트바 달시나흐 야지 진년 뜨바 마 보날 모하메밤 보날 모하메밤 보날 모하메밤 야시야시 바는더바 야나 부다니아 셰슈에너 부다니아 셰슈니 부다니아 셰슈니 아셰슈니 부다니 부다니아 아셰슈니 드라구쇼여시야 드마니아토 마이 아비 제다시 바베피아흐 사이베피아흐 바바그르트 다마흐 사이밤 지냐나 플라베나이바 부르지남 사는 딸이 쉬었시 야타이탐시 사미드 토그닐 파스맛 사드 구르텔주나 사미드 토그닐 파스마 사드 구르텔주나 사미드 토그닐 파스마 사드 구르텔주나 지냐나그니흐 살바깔마노이 파스마 사드 구르텔 따탕아 나히 지냐네나 사드르샴 바비트라미하 비디아테 따트스바얌 요가 삼시드타흐 가레나 드마니 비는다띠 시라드타 바물라 바물라 파테 바물라 파테 시라드타 바물라 시라드타 바물라 파테 시라드타 바물라 파테 라라라라 시라드타 바물라 파테 무르라 파테 시라드타 바물라 파테 지냐남 따트바라흐 사미야 때는드리야흐 지냐남 라브트바 바람 샤는 디마찔에 너 디까지 찼디 샤는 디마찔에 너 디까지 찼 샤는 디마찔에 너 디까지 찼디. Alright, 3 more. 아지냐 시장 시라드다 아지냐 시장 시라드다 아지냐 시장 시라드다 타나 시장 삼샤야 뜨마 비나시아티 나얌 로코스티 나 바로 나 수캄 삼샤야 뜨마나흐 요가삼니아스타 깔마넘 지냐나 산치는나 지냐나 산치는나 삼차야무 뜨마바는 땀나 깔마누이 니바트나는 니바트나는 띠 타난자야 따스마다 지냐나 삼은 푸땀 흐르뜨스탐 지냐나 시나 뜨마나흐 치트드바이남 삼샤얌 요가마 디슈토 디슈트 요가마 what the hell 요가마 디슈토 디슈트 요가마 디슈토 디슈트 바라타 요가마 디슈토 디슈트 바라타 던 따뜻사디티 시리마드 파가바드 기타 수파니셔트수 브라흐마 비디야얌 요가샤스트레 시리 꾸르슈눈 주나 삼바데 진야나 깔마 삼냐 사요고 나마 짜툴토티야야흐 Okay, I'm gonna take a little break, 2 minute break. 남았을 때 Okay, here we go. The Holy One said, "This imperishable devotion I declare to Vivasvat." Vivasvat declared it to Manu, and Manu communicated it to Ikushaku. Descending thus from generation to generation, the royal sages came to know it. But, O chastiser of foes, by long time that devotion became lost to the world. Even the same devotion hath today been declared by me to thee, for thou art my devotee and friend. This is a great mystery. Arjuna said, Thy birth is posterior, Vivasvat's birth is prior. How shall I understand then that thou hast the first declared? The Holy One said, Many births of mine have passed away, O Arjuna, as also of thine. These all I know, but thou dost not, O chastiser of foes. Though unborn and of essence that knoweth no deterioration, though the Lord of all creatures, still, relying on my own nature, I take birth by my own of illusion. Whensoever, O Parata, loss of piety occurreth, and the rise of impiety, on those occasions do I create myself. For the protection of the righteous, for also the destruction of evildoers, for the sake of establishing piety, I am born age after age. He that truly knoweth my divine birth and work to be such, casting off, is not born again. He cometh to me, O Arjuna. Many who have been freed from attachment, fear, and wrath, who were full of me and who relied on me, have, cleansed by knowledge and asceticism, attained to my essence. In whatsoever manner men come to me, in the self-same manner do I accept them. It is my way, O Bhagavata, that men follow on all sides. They in this world that are desirous of the success of actions worship the gods, for in this world of men the success resulting from action is soon attained. The quadruple division of castes was created by me according to the distinction of qualities and duties. Though I am the author thereof, know me to be not the author and undecaying. Actions do not touch me. I have no longing for the fruits of actions. He that knoweth me thus is not impeded by actions. Knowing this, even men of old that were desirous of emancipation performed work. Therefore do thou also perform work as was done by them of olden times. What is action and what inaction? Even the learned are perplexed at this. Therefore I will tell thee about action, knowing it, thou mayest be free from evil. One should have knowledge of action, and one should have knowledge of forbidden actions. One should also know of inaction. The course of action is incomprehensible. He that sees inaction in action and action in inaction is wise among men. He is possessed of devotion, and he is a doer of all actions. The learned call him wise, whose efforts are all free from desire and will, and whose actions have all been consumed by the fire of knowledge. Whoever, resigning all attachment to the fruit of action, is ever contented and is dependent on none, doeth naught indeed, although engaged in action. He who, without desire, with mind and the senses under control, and casting off all concerns, performeth action only for the preservation of the body incurreth no sin. He who is contented with what is earned without exertion, who hath risen superior to the pairs of opposites, who is without jealousy, who is equable in success and failure, is not bettered, even though he works. All his actions perish who acts for the sake of sacrifice, who is without affections, who is free, and whose mind is fixed upon knowledge. Brahma is the vessel. Brahma is the libation. Brahma is the fire on which by Brahma is poured. Brahma is the goal to which he proceedeth by fixing his mind on Brahma itself, which is the action. Some devotees perform sacrifice to the gods. Others by means of sacrifice offer up sacrifice to the fire of Brahma. Others offer up the senses of which hearing is the first to the fire of restraint. Others offer up the objects of sense of which sound is the first to the fire of the senses. Others offer up all the functions of the senses and the functions of the vital winds to the fire of devotion by self-restraint, kindled by knowledge. Others again perform the sacrifice of wealth, the sacrifice of ascetic austerities, the sacrifice of meditation, the sacrifice of study, the sacrifice of knowledge, and others are ascetics of rigid vows. Some offer up the upward vital wind to the downward vital wind, and others the downward vital wind to the upward vital wind. Some, arresting the course of the upward and the downward vital winds, are devoted to the restraint of the vital winds. Others of restricted rations offer the vital winds to the vital winds. Even all these who are conversant with sacrifice, whose sins have been consumed by sacrifice, and who eat the remnants of sacrifice, which are amrita, attain to the eternal Brahma. This world is not for him who doth not perform sacrifice. One than the other, O best of Guru's ways. Thus diverse are the sacrifices occurring in the Vedas. Know that all of them result from action, and knowing this, thou wilt be emancipated. The sacrifice of knowledge, O chastiser of foes, is superior to every sacrifice involving fruits of action, for all action, O Bhavata, is wholly comprehended in knowledge. Learn that, by prostration, enquiry, and service, they that are possessed of knowledge and can see the truth will teach thee that knowledge, knowing which, O son of Bandhu, thou wilt not again come by such delusion, and by which thou wilt see the endless creatures, in thyself and then in me. Even if thou beest the greatest sinner among all that are sinful, thou shalt yet cross over all transgressions by the raft of knowledge. As a blazing fire, O Arjuna, reduceth fuel to ashes, so doth the fire of knowledge reduce all actions to ashes. For there is nothing here that is so cleansing as knowledge. One that hath attained to success by devotion finds it without effort within his own self in time. He obtaineth knowledge who hath faith and is intent on it, and who hath his senses under control. Obtaining knowledge, one findeth the highest tranquillity in no length of time. One who hath no knowledge and no faith, and whose mind is full of doubt, is lost. Neither this world nor the next, nor happiness, is for him whose mind is full of doubt. Actions do not better him, O Dhananjaya, who hath cast off action by devotion, whose doubts have been dispelled by knowledge, and who is self-restrained. Therefore, destroying by the sword of knowledge this doubt of thine that is born of ignorance, and that dwelleth in thy mind, betake to devotion. Arise, O son of Bharata. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much. Namaste. 2 hours and 3 minutes, not bad.